dark flour with light. Symbolic and shit. Do you need anything else in the house?
No, I don't. I was actually taking the word cooler.
You did? Okay. So we are at a point now where we're doing about 1,200 bagels per week, and that starts with the dough making process. So we have 3 or 4 different types of base bagel doughs that we make. Plain dough, which will go into everything with a topping, plain bagels, everything, sesame, Old Bay, salt, poppy. We have pumpernickel base, which will obviously be a pumpernickel bagel. Also is our infamous Black Russian, which is everything pumpernickel, which is certainly my favorite and increasingly popular. We have cinnamon raisin, which we use for cinnamon raisin. So that's a plain bagel base, and then we obviously add in cinnamon sugar, raisins, and things to make that bagel. And then we have an egg bagel base, which typically just makes egg bagels, but sometimes we top those as well, different things. Poppy and egg. Joan accidentally made a garlic and egg yesterday, which was actually pretty.
Someone bought it.
Pretty good.
Come on, it's fine.
Yeah. Boil a bagel, it's like a roll with a hole in it, yeah. Which is, distinguishable for like a lot of places these days. Like they don't boil their bagels, yeah. So it is more like a bread, yeah. That just is in the shape of a bagel. Yeah. Joan, these are like on their way.
How many business meetings can you go to where they lay out these trays of carb-tastic bricks before you're like, okay, maybe someone else should be doing this a little bit better? I mean, Baltimore, God love us, you have all kinds of like food options, but one of the areas that we like really suck it hard is bagels. I can throw in some others, just like not here, not now.
We had a pop-up at the room last September after Andre reached out to us. We wanted to not just dump off a bunch of bagels. At the time, he was open for a very short period of time and was doing like panini sandwiches and stuff like that, basic cafe food.
It was a chance for him to like test to see if there was an interest in bagels, like for his own menu, and gave us kind of a launch point for the wholesale business. So it was a good way to kind of get people excited and then have the bagels on there full time. You want to get more variety. We have been asked by
customers and colleagues in the food world about our lox, and that really truly is a gravlog style.
Yeah, and lox has always been part of it, which is pretty crazy. Actually, I forget who I was telling. Like even when we first made our very first batch of bagels in our house, for us, we were like, oh, and we're gonna make some lox too. You know, like so it was like this little 2-pound piece of lox that we cured and made, you know, our 8 bagels, and that was our feast one year for the holidays. And that's always been part of what we've done, and that's another thing that I think has been picking up steam. It's hand sliced, which is also rare, often sliced the very day it's sold, and has the recipe that we have is pretty balanced, so it's not super salty, it's very bright, and as Joan said, it's elegant, and it's something we're really proud of. So yeah, to put it on a sandwich is one thing, but to have it kind of stand on its own is something else, and we do. Yeah, no, I mean, customers, you know, like anyone in this business can tell you, I mean, that's why we're doing it, but it's also like a fine line between, you know, wanting to make sure that like they're getting what we're about too. So I think you definitely get that in our interaction, particularly at farmers markets where, I mean, we just want people to feel like we notice them more than anything. I mean, it sounds really silly, but like, you know, you're not just like there for a transaction. You're not just there to give us money. Like we notice you, either we ask you how your knee surgery went, or like how was your vacation, or it's good to see you, I haven't seen you in a while, or how's that house project, and like, you know, I think that makes a difference.
Yeah, and it's not just like stretching for time. Trust me, a lot of times like if something is going wrong or there's eggshell in something, or I'm trying to like be like swift, there's a little bit of like of our own movie magic with I'm trying to like ask random things or bring things up. You know, you can just make stuff up in the moment just to kind of like make the time seem like it's less. Not just for me, but specifically for the customers who are waiting for our products.
I don't know, like somebody once said to me when I was like really stressed out about lines, they're like, people wait in line for fast food. People wait in line for not great food, you know, so as long as you are acknowledging them and giving them something that's worth it, then it's okay. But we don't ever take that for granted. I mean, I think for us, that's the culmination of, you know, all the hours of dough making, all of the hours of rounding bagels, all of the hours of boiling, all of the hours of baking, packing, like getting the car ready, all of those things, like leading up to the second where we're like actually handing you your sandwich. And so, you know, if we don't get it right at that moment, it's like, you know, all the rest of it really doesn't matter too much.
But it's also